Hello, geometry. We had a request to look at number 4 from the review, so I'm going to take a look at that one right now and post the video here to Schoology in just a second. So we have find the surface area of the figure, round your answers to the nearest whole number. If it's a cylinder or cone, leave it in terms of pi, show your work, and support your answer. So we are going to do number 4. And it's important to know that when you're finding the surface area of your prisms, that it's all the formulas are the same. It's going to be pH plus 2b. So perimeter of your base times the height plus 2 times the area of your base. And what I like to do is just organize my information, and then I'll plug it back into the formula once we find all these values. The next thing that's important to know is what is your base. In this case, you're looking for, in prisms, you're looking for 2 identical congruent pieces. And that's going to mean that this triangle right here is a base, and this triangle down here is a base. So that represents my base, and when I'm talking about the area of that base, I'm going to be finding the area of a triangle. So that's the formula that I'm going to be using here when I get to it. 1/2 base times height when I start to find that. But let's start by looking at the perimeter. So it looks like I've got a length of 3 along this side, and I've got a length of 3 here, but I don't know what that piece is. Well, anytime we have a right triangle, and if you know 2 of those sides, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. So over here, we're going to quick do Pythagorean theorem. 3 squared plus 3 squared is going to equal my third side, my hypotenuse, c squared. So 9 plus 9 is 18. We're going to get 18 is equal to c squared. Once you root both of those, root of 18 is not a perfect square, but there is a 9. I take the 9 out, and I get a 3 root 2 is equal to c. You may have also noticed that since 3 and 3 make this a isosceles right triangle, this is just a 45, 45, 90. So my missing side, this question mark down here, is going to be 3 root 2. So that's going to make my perimeter 3 plus 3, which is 6, plus 3 root 2. And I have to leave it like this because I cannot combine the irrational numbers. 3 roots of 2 is irrational. I cannot combine that with the rational, which is 6. Next is the height. The height is not the height of this triangle. It's the height between your bases. So this green line that I'm drawing, that represents the height. So I'm always looking at where my bases are. What's the distance between my bases? 10. And lastly, the area is the area of that triangle. And when you have a right triangle, the base and height are the 2 legs of that right triangle. So we're going to have 1/2, 3 times 3, which is going to be 1/2 of 9, which is 4.5. And once we have those pieces, now we're ready to find the area. So up here, we're going to plug those values back in. So first, my perimeter is 6 plus 3 roots of 2. I'm going to put that in parentheses, group that together, plus, times 10. And then plus 2 times 4.5. Now all that is just going to go into my calculator. I'm not dealing with a cylinder or cone, so I'm going to go back to my calculator and plug in those values. Open that up. So we had 6 plus 3 roots of 2 times 10 plus 2 times 4.5. And all in all, we're going to get 111.4 And the 4, we're going to round that back down to just 111. It said round to the nearest whole number. I ran out of room up there, but oh yeah, I can just put it in this blank here. Our surface area is going to be 111 inches squared, since we're still dealing with area. So there would be our final result. That's it for this session. Hopefully that helps you out. We'll see you soon.